It's now time for SME on Point. This week, our featured business of the week shares with us the journey of developing a black-owned baby diaper business. The makers of Adorables Baby Diapers say they're ready to expand to the rest of the world. Their story is edited by Nqobile Tshabalala. It was 10 years ago when Shane Ngwenya thought hard about starting a business. He says he was looking at a business idea that would serve as a solution.
Babies are born every single day, and if it's one thing that they'll always need is baby diapers. And that's when the idea literally was birthed. And upon doing research, realized that millions and millions of diapers get consumed on a daily basis, just here in South Africa. And just going deeper, we realized that there aren't a lot of players in the market. When I say a lot of players, maybe let me be more specific. There aren't a lot of players, black people, to be more specific, who are playing in the manufacturing space or in the baby diaper space.
Ngwenya says the road to Adorables has not been an easy one, but because of his deep commitment to growing this brand and its growth, he roped in two of his business partners.
It's not an easy space. It's not. So we had to put in our own sweat capital to literally give birth to this beautiful baby called Adorables. And so it was not an easy journey at all, I'll be honest with you. Yeah. However, at the moment, we are using a third party for our manufacturing.
Demand for the Adorables is growing fast, and its makers are looking at expanding into the rest of the continent. And to achieve this, they want to be able to manufacture the disposable nappies locally, which they currently do not have the capacity to do.
The biggest thing I'll say, number one, is cost. The second thing will be the turnaround time. And also another thing is it will be easier for us to be able to conduct business more effectively, because as we speak now, as far as the product is concerned or our business is concerned, we've been having a lot of interest as far as the SADC region, North America, all over the world, basically. I mean, if I were to go through my emails and show you the kind of requests that we've been receiving, it's insane. And we are saying that if we had the opportunity to manufacture locally, and it's a very simple thing, all we need is the machinery to be able to produce here at home. But it's not cheap. It's extremely expensive. But with the support of the government or whatever, private funders, whatever it is, I mean, we are open to have those conversations. So for us to partner with those kind of people so that we can actually realize this vision for us to be able to manufacture locally. Yeah.
Ngwenya says the diapers are produced with great consideration to the baby's comfort and safety. And with enough financial support, he's confident they can establish a manufacturing plant big enough for other entrepreneurs in the country to develop their own products.
The most important thing is to start. Nothing is as difficult as starting. One of my favorite quotes is by Denzel Washington, who says that without commitment, you'll never start. Without consistency, you'll never finish. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So nothing's easy.
Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg. Thank you so much to the makers of Adorables Baby Diapers. Remember that our Facebook page is at SME OnPoint. We'd really love to hear what you think of our featured business of the week. E-commerce is growing in leaps and bounds. The latest player in the market being Anansi Africa, a new digital platform that connects African designers with local and international consumers. The tech-enabled solution is a response to the economic challenges that have been brought about by the pandemic, which restricted retail and travel and also saw a significant decrease in offline retail spending. Anansi has over 60 fashion designers and artisans showcasing the rich and diverse tapestry of Africa's thread. Let's chat to the creator of Anansi, Mr. Sam Mensah, for more, and he's joining us via Zoom. Sam, thank you so much for joining us on SME OnPoint. Tell us a little bit about Anansi and its creation. What brought it about? I know that COVID-19 changed a lot of how we consume, how we buy, and also our consumer behavior. Tell us a little bit more about Anansi.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. There was a time when e-commerce was a nice to have. Many creative merchants, fashion designers, artists would have a primary place of business. They would have a shop or a store or a mall that they trade out of. And then maybe every now and then they might attempt or dabble into e-commerce. Obviously, COVID has turned that paradigm on its head. E-commerce is now essential to the way we do business. It is no longer an option. It is now an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing with the Anansi platform is really empowering and enabling African creative merchants, fashion designers, artists, and artisans with the tools for e-commerce so that they can trade with customers all over the world. We've done some great partnerships with the likes of DHL on the logistics side, and the MasterCard Foundation for inclusivity and accessibility to ensure that we reach talented African designers whose businesses have been turned upside down by COVID.
Yeah.
And we are now enabling and supporting them to access international markets through the Anansi.com platform.
Yeah. Now, it is Africa Month, and I love that it is very Africa-focused. But how do African designers from all regions get into the platform? What does it cost for them? And what are the tools that make it much more unique than other e-commerce platforms that we know of?
So in terms of the model is that there are no upfront costs. So obviously with COVID, the business model had to accommodate the fact that a lot of creatives are experiencing, financial difficulties. So there are no listing fees. You don't get paid to join. You don't pay to join or to sell on the platform. You join for free. There's a 10% commission when you make a sale. But other than that, there are no other charges. And the advantage for African designers and artists is twofold. Firstly, you have a solution that is tailored to your needs as an African. You can get paid in local African currency.
Right.
And you can trade with customers from all over the world and yet get paid in local African currency.
Yeah.
Then there's also the logistics element where because of the logistics, it doesn't matter where you are on the African continent. With our partnership with DHL, we can pick up from you from anywhere you are in Africa and deliver all over the world. In addition to the training that we do to upskill designers and artists on how to use e-commerce. There's also a POS, a point-of-sale system that comes with the e-commerce. So it actually integrates your offline business with your online business. So people can we take your store and we put it online. People can actually see what is available in your physical retail store because the POS system we provide to a merchant is linked to their e-commerce store that's online.
Yeah,
so those are some of the advantages. Plug and play. It's really easy for clients and artists.
A perfect time just when the Africa Continental Free Trade Area has just begun in July. This is the perfect time for you to be launching this in order to connect designers and also those who love fashion. How do you feel about this time of Africa when we are, having this big trade platform?
African designers have been experiencing challenges with trading across African borders. The fact that to move from one country to the other, you have to cross a border. There's paperwork to be done. there's customs to be paid in many instances. That really limits the size of the market and the ease of doing business, and also it increases the cost for the customer who's trying to purchase from you. So the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, when it becomes fully operational, will be a huge game changer. It will mean that you're able to purchase from design. So you could be in South Africa, purchase from a designer in Ghana or Nigeria or Kenya, and not have to pay any duties when it arrives. Although that's the vision today, that is not yet the case. But we're very excited about this opportunity for the whole of Africa to become one single market that opens up opportunities for small businesses across the continent, including for creative businesses like fashion designers and artists.
Sam, thank you so much for sharing your journey and vision with SME OnPoint. I can imagine that people can just Google Anansi and they would be able to find your details and also all the what they need to do in order to be part of the Anansi family. But thank you so much for being part of SME OnPoint. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was Sam Mensah. He is the creator of Anansi Africa, the latest e-commerce that is connecting fashion designers all across Africa to consumers of fashion. If you love fashion, it's something you may want to look at. Well, that's all from SME OnPoint for this week. Remember to support small businesses in your local area and keep the rands and cents circulating in your community. This is where I ended, but Tash is waiting to give you the markets from here, Studio 11.